Tales from Retail are varied at best. I'm your host, Height. Let's dive in depth. Our first tale is from Fuzzy Ad 7691. I helped a customer check out. She returned about 10 minutes later to tell me that the item she bought was missing a piece and asked for another of the piece she was missing. I politely explained that our policy is that I cannot give her another one without looking at the item first, just to make sure. She got sour because she left it in her car, huffed and rolled her eyes as she stormed out to go get it. Maybe 5 minutes later, the phone rang. I picked it up with my usual customer service greeting, and the person on the other end said,
"Hey, I'm the girl who was just in there with an attitude. I want to apologize for that. I found the item in the bag."
It brought a smile to my face, and I told her it's all good. I get that we all have bad days sometimes. She insisted that she really was so sorry and felt terrible, and I thanked her for calling to apologize. It was just a really nice thing to hear, and I respect her for that. In a way, it was also reassuring that not everyone who is rude is necessarily a bad person. Not that that excuses rudeness. I'm just a bleeding heart, and I love reminders that humans are humans, and not evil NPCs. The fact that the lady was able to recognize that she was rude and called to apologize says an absolute lot about her. And I think it's safe to chalk it up that she was probably just having a bad day. This next tale is by Disastrous Target 5060. A customer walked in and wanted to get something printed. I pointed out the sign that has our email address so they can send us the file for printing. I finished the printing, less than 1 minute, put the papers on the counter and enter it into the till. The customer is looking down at their phone. I figure that maybe they're texting someone or moving money around and wait. After half a minute of them still not looking up, I ask them if they're sending another file. They say yes, and I wait. After a minute of nothing showing up in the inbox and them still not looking up from their phone, I ask them again if they're sending another file. Again, I get yes, so I keep waiting. After another minute of nothing coming in and them still not looking up from their phone, I change the question. I ask if they don't have anything else to print, and again, I just get yes. I tell them the total, which is less than $4. They finally look up from their phone to dig in their pack. They pull out $100. I firmly tell them, no, I'm not breaking $100 for $3 and some change. They say that they don't have any card and just have cash. I tell them again that I'm not breaking $100 and that there's not enough money in the till to do that. The customer leaves without another word, or they're printing, and doesn't come back. You decide when this transaction happens. It's not like it was a surprise to you. Put the phone down while the transaction is happening. Also, don't try to pay for a $3 service with a $100 bill. This story kind of confirms what I've suspected for a while now, that many people have a very unhealthy relationship with their phone. And if you're going into a place and having a service performed, especially when it comes to dealing with the transaction, the least you could do is put attention to that and not on the phone. This next tale is from CryoChamber90. I work at a home goods store, and today a customer came in with a coupon so old it was literally yellowed and falling apart at the creases. It was for 50% off any single item, but it was from a store that went out of business over 20 years ago. I politely informed her that we couldn't accept a coupon from a different, long-defunct company. She immediately escalated, her voice getting louder with each word.
"It says any single item. It doesn't specify where. This is false advertising. I want to speak to your manager right now."
I called for my manager, Linda, who is an absolute saint and has been in retail since before this coupon was printed. Linda came over, looked at the coupon, and gave the customer the exact same explanation I did, but with a calm smile. The customer then pointed a finger at me and said,
Well, she was incredibly rude to me about it. I want her written up. I'm going to be calling corporate and have her fired for this.
My manager just nodded and said, "Ma'am, I was standing right over there and heard the entire interaction. My employee was perfectly professional and correct in our policy. I will not be writing her up, and you are welcome to call corporate." The customer was so stunned, she was speechless. She just snatched her ancient coupon off the counter, crumbled it in her fist, and stormed out without another word. The whole thing was so absurd, it was almost poetic. It's amazing how some people think threatening your job is a valid negotiation tactic for a 25-year-old piece of paper. The fact that she tried to just bring this coupon into a place that clearly was not the same place that was listed on the coupon is absolutely baffling. And I absolutely love how when she claimed to call corporate, the manager said go ahead, because they knew the OP did nothing wrong. And our final tale is by Complex Dimension 573. This is my first job in retail, and I've only been working there for a week and a half. Today, I was on tills, which I usually love, but at the end of the day, I was called on tills. A woman in her maybe late 60s came up to my till and immediately made a point of telling me that she didn't want a hole to be made in the sweater she was buying from the security tag in quite a harsh tone. My security tag remover wasn't working, so I had to ask a colleague, the customer giving me a dirty look. Then, when I got the sweater back, I was about to fold it, and then she snatched it from me to inspect whether I had made a hole in the sweater sleeve. I do the payment thing as she checks it and give her the receipt. She looks at me all annoyed and tells me off for not folding her sweater, even though she had snatched it away from me. Then she asks to talk to my manager, as she said my service was terrible. My manager was walking by at the time and asked what the problem was, and the woman explains it in a way that sounds like it was my fault she wouldn't let me fold it. I quietly told my manager what actually happened, and after all that, the woman didn't even let me fold her sweater. I was really pissed off as I am quite sensitive, and the remaining customers saw and were quite nice with me due to the situation. My first rude customer, everybody. It amazes me that this lady was not only just rude, but then tried to blame OP for not folding the sweater that she literally snatched from OP. Like, it makes no sense. Is the OP supposed to grab the sweater back and then fold it aggressively? Like, I really don't know what the hell this lady was expecting. Alright, that's enough tales for the day. Well, that wraps up this episode of Tales from Retail. If you liked the video, please drop a like. Share my content on all of your social media, subscribe if you haven't already, and make sure to hit that bell so you're notified every time I upload, and drop a comment down below. It really helps with the algorithm and helps new people find my channel. Thanks for watching, thanks to my patrons and super thanks contributors. Have a great day and stay safe out there.